new season to you.
Thank you. I wanted to explore a little bit more what you talked about on Christmas Eve.
Oh, all right.
What you said was a loose translation, something called the Christmas story.
Yes.
About when
Christmas bells.
When the world spirit of Esasania,
yes,
incarnated for 3 days.
Yes.
And you slept for 3 days.
Yes.
As a world planet.
Well, not me. I was not there in this incarnational sense.
Okay, but Esasani did.
Yes.
And everyone, in a sense, it wasn't exactly it was like a resurrection too, because when everyone awoke, they lived a dream forever.
Yes, they were aware of each other.
Right.
They knew each other telepathically in unconditional love, and we have never slept since.
And so everyone who is reincarnated into that world shares in that.
Oh, absolutely, because that's the vibration of that world now.
Okay. So I was kind of wondering about when that kind of thing can happen for us.
That's up to you, isn't it? Now, we do perceive that the way your energy is going is that within what you call the next 30 of your years, you will have already laid all the foundations necessary for just such a reality, and that by the time comes along that you call 50 of your years, you will be fully living that idea.
Oh, good, because when I was listening to it, I thought, oh, that's going to take us eons and eons, and and I thought, I have to ask and see what we could do.
But you are accelerating, and remember what acceleration means. As of, shall we say, perhaps 1,000 of your years ago, it may have taken eons. But as of now, it doesn't need to.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Well, thank you. If you're
what could we do to accelerate a little more even?
By doing the thing it excites you the most to do right now.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Remember, when you talk about making things happen faster, the way things happen faster is if you give them less time to happen in. So when you live in the present, you don't create as much time, and therefore there isn't as much time for everything to happen in. So it has to happen more quickly.
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Remember that this is more than just philosophy. This is actually physics. Living in the moment means you do not create the same amount of experiential time that you do when you live in a segregated, focused manner of the idea of worrying about the future, regretting the past. You extend your timeline out when you bring into play all the different detailed, segregational focuses that you are used to looking at your reality in. When you live in the present, when now is the only experiential time there is, then you don't create as much time, so everything happens faster. Shirley.
Hi, I'm Sunny.
Oh, all right.
I'm an astrologer.
Oh, all right.
I was very happy to hear you talk to the other man about sign Aries and,
That's the crystallization of energy.
New beginnings.
And
red and fire energy.
Yes.
Now, I would like to know why so many people have closed minds to astrology and only few have open.
Oh, all right. Do understand, of course, that in a sense this is quite obvious if you simply take time to examine the history of your society. The focus of your society has, because it has forgotten its connection to all that is, focused only on the physically material issues of life. This is one of the things we were addressing with our opening remarks about self-awareness, that most people do not understand that self-awareness cannot exist if all you are is simply a physically focused or created being. When a society such as yours creates such a strong focus on physicality, then it assumes that everything must exist only within that physicality, and that anything that is not, as you say, solid, tangible, that can be directly tasted, smelt, touched, felt, heard, seen with your physical senses, therefore does not exist. This attitude, therefore, is obviously responsible for the denial of the existence of anything that is not immediately apparent to the physical senses. Understand?
Yes.
So, now that your society is beginning to realize that it is more than just a physical expression, now you are becoming more sensitized as a whole society to the fact that consciousness itself creates reality, and that what you call the physiological universe, the stars, the planets, the space, the time, that all of these things are actually the product of your consciousness, and that what you see in the exteriorized reality is actually a reflection simply of your own consciousness back to you, a reflection of your self-awareness, of the style of your self-awareness in this particular physiological format. Other beings, other consciousnesses in other universes express the reflection back to themselves in different ways. So they experience different universes through their version of physical senses. But the one you experience has a degree of commonality to many beings because we share in a consensus reality, a telepathically reinforced agreement that we shall all experience the basic universe as a particular format, at least this particular universal reality. But now that you are awakening up to the fact that physical reality is actually created through your imagination, you are becoming more sensitized as a society to the idea that non-physicality is just as valid, that energy itself is just as solid as physical matter. It only takes a little while for people that have been trained to only look at the physical to break away from that and include the non-physical energy as well, because a high degree of focus on the physical reality creates an ego structure that, if it is removed from the physical reality, panics, because it thinks the physical reality is the only place that exists, and if all of a sudden you start forcing the ego structure that has been physically focused to look at non-physical reality, it thinks it's dying, because it doesn't understand that non-physical reality is just as real as physical reality. That is the reluctance that you are experiencing in your society. Understand?
Yes.
Does that assist you?
Yes, it does.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, too. Thank you.
Shedding.
Hi, Bashar.
On good day to you. Good New Year.
Happy and exciting New Year
Yes,
to you,
yes,
too.
yes, yes, yes.
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 Okay, something came up for me,
Oh, yes.
which was an old thought pattern.
Oh, all right.
And what's been happening?
One moment.
Okay.
One moment.
Yeah.
But since you are now a new you, it isn't really the same, not really the identical old thought pattern, because now you are a new you looking at it from a perspective you have never looked at it from before.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yes, I understand.
So recognize that there really is, even if it may seem subtle, there really is a difference between the thought pattern you are looking at now and the thought pattern as it actually existed back then.
Mm-hmm.
But do continue.
Okay. About 3.5 years ago,
Yes.
I had a really vivid dream, and what happened was a spaceship came down and picked me up, and they pulled me away from my friends who I was with,
Yes.
pulled me into the spaceship, and they pinned me up to all these like computer-like machines that I had never seen before, and they pinned electrodes over my whole body.
Yes.
And they apologized to me as they were doing it, and they started giving me electric shock treatment.
Yes.
And as they were doing this, they said to me, "We apologize for doing this, but you're not moving as fast as you have agreed to move.
Yes.
So we have to do this to speed up your growth and
Yes.
your movement, okay?" So the next morning, two of my roommates told me that they had had a dream that a spaceship had come and picked me
Yes.
up.
Yes.
And then a week and a half later,
Yes.
I was shooting a film, and
Did it die?
no, but my physical body nearly did.
Oh, all right.
I was skydiving, and I wasn't a stunt person, and I landed in rocks, and I almost died. It was like...
Well, I'll bet that accelerated you.
Yeah. So what happened, like everything in both of my legs
Yes.
was, especially the right side, had 2 casts on, and my right foot was hanging off, and this leg was shattered.
Oh, all right.
And
That's breaking up those old belief systems.
yeah.
Those old foundations.
Yes, I mean,
now, you didn't have to do it that way.
I know.
But you are very bold.
And, yeah, I know. See, then in the hospital,
Yes.
I had another dream that
Yes.
space people came down and like lifted me up. I was in a lot of pain, and
Yes.
even the morphine didn't take the pain away. And so they lifted me up, and I felt this like white healing light
Yes.
through this glass cabinet, like just surrounding me. And I was terrified because the doctors were telling me that I was going to be crippled, and I'm a dancer, and they told me that I might never walk again.
I see.
And stuff like this. And then
Yes.
I was in a depression, and I wouldn't talk to anyone. I wouldn't talk to the doctors. And then
Yes,
suddenly
you were reevaluating who and what you really were.
I made up my mind that I wasn't going to listen to the doctors, and I would
thank you.
change everything.
All right.
And that, and it continued for a long, long time, and I just kept on
Yes.
going. You know, I got out the cast, and I just,
Oh.
I got through the whole thing.
Conviction.
And
yes.
before I could even walk properly, I went into dance class.
Yes.
And I started dancing even when I couldn't walk. And through the dancing, I was able to heal myself.
Yes.
And the doctors would still tell me that I was going to be crippled, and that I was crippled and that I couldn't dance.
Well, they had made a big investment in that reality, you know.
But one of the things that's coming up now is because I'm still involved in litigation. It's 3.5 years later, and the pain is still there. And
All right.
it's like the pain actually has got worse. But I mean, I run, and I can't run like a runner, like.
All right. All right.
But it's like it's coming up for me again.
Yes. Stop. Now, it is not coming up again. It is completely newly created. In a sense, because you are placing yourself in circumstances which by definition involve conflict. You know who you are and who you desire to be. They believe they know who they are and who they desire to be. All the circumstances that you have experienced, you have created to get you to the understandings you have now, to the recognitions you have now, to the clarity of the issues and the definitions within you that you are now beginning to discover. A suggestion, just on a lifestyle level, would be to ask you first of all, can you let the past circumstance go? Can you let the circumstance that brought you to where you are be a part of the life that was necessary, that you at that time obviously believed was necessary to get you to where you are now? Can you, in that sense, not blame those circumstances on anyone?
I don't blame anybody for anything.
May I ask you why you are, in your terms, in litigation?
Because,
Yes.
Because,
Yes.
I guess because because
Yes.
I was in a lot of physical pain, and that's how this
Yes.
world works. And
Whose world? Whose world? What kind of a world do you prefer it to be? I understand, before you go on, let me explain. I understand this may seem hard for you.
The money could never fix the physical pain.
Well then, do you need it?
Oh, I see. You're helping me to let go.
Yes.
I see.
You see, many times, holding on to the circumstances that brought you to where you are, now there can be differences. It doesn't have to happen this way across the board, as you say. Not all situations are going to be the same. but what we are perceiving now within you, is that holding on to those circumstances is what creates you to remain the place you're at. Because in a sense, you have a vested interest in maintaining the pain. Because if you don't maintain the pain, who can you blame in the litigation? Well, Your Honor, I'm just fine. Well, then what's this all about? Understand?
Yeah, I understand. However,
Yes.
I did this because there was a workman's compensation part to this.
It does not matter what kind of
this.
definitions you put on these ideas. Again, the idea can be shown. And we do not mean to refute that some of the avenues your world has set up do not work for some individuals. But for what you are going for what you are shooting for, the idea of compensation is not the full expression of who you want to be. You are, in that sense, compensating. You are wanting to be compensated externally rather than internally. The idea is to understand that if you no longer need to hold on to the idea of pain to convince someone that you should be compensated, then the pain will serve no purpose for you, and it will go away. It will transform more into the energy of your acceleration forward. It will move you forward faster and give you the ability to move forward faster, which will translate in more mobility, physically, more physical expression. But if you need to hold on to the pain because that is your best defense, then that will stay there for you. So, our suggestion, we cannot tell you what to do. But in terms of describing what we perceive to be the mechanics of your circumstance, our suggestion would be to let go of the litigation. Because you have a vested interest in maintaining disability in order to be compensated by someone else. Once you understand that the full expression of yourself will supply you with whatever abundance you need, then you can move forward, you will be supplied with whatever abundance you need, and you will not have to hang on to the issue of being compensated by someone else for circumstances that you attracted in your life to get you where you are now, to realize the very thing we are talking about.
I just want to share
Go
with
ahead,
people.
and then we will talk about something else.
Okay. I want to share with everyone that there was almost immediately an internal compensation.
Yes.
The feeling of the clarity and the light
Yes.
that has come from this.
Well, yes. Well, walking through what you call the door of death, the door of transformation, is a very accelerating and clarifying process, and one that really allows you to live in the moment. Because if you won't live in the moment any other way, sometimes you will force yourself into circumstances like that, because then you absolutely guarantee beyond a shadow of a doubt that you'll be living in the moment.
Yeah. And
That is why the entire perception and the entire phrase of your life flashing before your eyes came up. Because you are so, at that moment, fully living in the present that your entire life is actually existent in that one moment. Because there is no other time for your life to exist in, but right here, right now. That's why that phenomena happens. You become absolutely holographic at that moment. So of course you're going to be left with a residual clarity. When you reconnect into the time frame, you will not reconnect in the same manner unless you choose to hold on to some of the old patterns, as you are suggesting you are doing. Now,
well, the main purpose for this conversation is that what I'm coming up against right now is...
Against? More conflict?
Yes.
All right.
It seems like I've always had a lot of trouble being grounded and being earthed. I tend to prefer to be in the spiritual realms.
Oh, I understand exactly what you are saying.
My boyfriend
Yes.
is very grounded, and he has been a teacher, and he
Well, all
mirrors
right.
back to me
All right.
sometimes why I'm not getting to do what I want to do.
Then you are serving each other in that way.
And he mentioned at the weekend that I'm missing some of the stepping stones of the earth.
You're not really missing the stepping stones, but you are not allowing yourself to see what is there. You have them, but you don't see them. The first and most obvious one is that obviously you chose to be born on earth.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, since you now know that that was an actual conscious choice, you can also see that your preference to the idea of spirituality is to some degree balanced by your preference to be born physically on earth. So that in that sense, you did choose to be grounded in that way. And see the idea of spirituality through those eyes, through that perspective. So you can start to look at it from that direction to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to think of yourself as groundless.
Was that the reason why I landed in the rocks?
To some degree. To some degree. The idea also can be to recognize and remember that you are still making, perhaps because of a belief system that you were taught, you're still making a differentiation between physical and spiritual reality as if they really are two completely different things that have nothing to do with each other. Physical reality is just as spiritual as any level of reality because it is made of spirit. Remember that your spirit does not actually inhabit, mechanically speaking, your physical body. Your physical body is your spirit in physical terminology. So, being physical doesn't mean you're not spiritual.
All right, I understand. I've been...
All right. Then allow yourself to begin with to soften the definition that there is a major difference between being physical and exploring spirituality. Because there really isn't as much of a difference as you think or have been taught to think.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, you may find that when you remove that definitional difference, more things in physiological nature will seem more spiritual to you and will entice you in a spiritual way to become involved with nature more closely, and that will automatically balance and ground you. Because you will start to see physical reality as just as spiritual as anything. And paradoxically, when you accelerate through your point of view physical reality to be more spiritual, then you exist in a reality that is vibrationally closer to the type of levels of spirituality you say you actually prefer. And it makes it easier to experience both types. Because the whole idea is to meet it halfway, not to leave where you obviously chose to be and vacate the premises because you chose to be where you are for a reason. And one of the main reasons that all of you have chosen, especially now in this transformation life, is to accelerate and uplift the vibration of physical reality so that you understand physical reality is one of the spiritual levels. Allow that reality to be more like the non-physical spiritual levels. And then blend the two so that there really isn't as much of a difference. That's the whole purpose. It's not the idea of running away from earth to seek heaven. It's the idea of creating heaven on earth. Mm-hmm. That's why you're all choosing to be born physically on earth. But you always, as you have already suggested, attract whatever balancing ideas you need, such as your boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Trust that you do know what you're doing. Don't focus on the negative ideas of what you think you're looking for. Where you are is what you need to learn about yourself and what can represent a place of peace. Even if you don't prefer it, where you are, exploring where you are, will give you the information you need. Now, aside from the whole issue of just letting go of past ideas that would allow you to hold on to the pain, you can also assist yourself through what you may call a meditation. The one that we have shared that is called the blue-white light technique.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with it?
Yes.
Infuse yourself with a blue jelly-like substance in the areas of greatest pain. Feel that that blue jelly-like substance actually acts as a lubricant for all of your hard bones and connective areas, and as a sheath for all of your nerve areas, so that the entire interaction is synergistic, is one environment enveloped in the blue gel. Feel it infuse itself into every cell where you have pain, and allow it to dissolve. And stop thinking in terms of structures, of separate parts. Think as a whole, a fluid whole, and relax. Does this assist you?
Yes, it does. Can I ask one little? No?
Yes. Yes, yes.
My boyfriend, I was supposed to ask, he has problems when he's driving. He gets dizzy and like blacks out, and I wanted to ask if you could assist me in the reason why this is happening.
What we can suggest is that you use the technique, if you wish, center and balance yourself. When you are in that state, before you go into what you call dream time, sleep time, focus on the idea of the strong magnetic energy of your boyfriend. See the idea of the black hole, the central vortex of magnetism, and allow yourself telepathically to remind him that a black hole, a blackness, a void, or what appears to be a void, is not empty and actually contains 99% of all reality. That there is light within the blackness. Mm-hmm. Send that as you are in a balanced state 3 nights in a row. See if that begins to allow him to relax enough to receive assistance from his guides. For they can be of best help more than we can.
Okay.
And so can you.
Okay.
We thank you and we send you and remind you our unconditional love. And unconditional love is all that it takes to be anywhere and anyone you wish to be. All right?
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much for the sharing of your heart, and you may all take a short break.